The plant-based reset. Why meat alternatives are pivoting toward protein, taste, and transparency. From buzz to backlash to redemption, the fake meat industry is getting a much-needed makeover. A few years ago, plant-based meat was riding high on a wave of media hype, climate guilt, and tech-utopian optimism. Beyond Meat IPO'd like a Silicon Valley rocket launch. Impossible burgers were suddenly on fast food menus. Investors, influencers, and eco-conscious millennials declared it the future of food. Cows everywhere could breathe a sigh of relief. But then something happened. The sizzle started to fizzle. Sales stalled. Repeat purchases dropped. Consumers began reading ingredient labels and wondering why their veggie burger needed methylcellulose and 3 kinds of starch. Whispers of overprocessed turned into headlines. And just like that, the love affair with plant-based meat hit its awkward phase. Not quite a breakup, but definitely a cooling-off period. Now, the industry is in reboot mode. Call it the plant-based reset, a full-spectrum shift in formulation, messaging, and strategy aimed at winning back skeptical eaters and making fake meat palatable again, in every sense of the word. The new buzzwords? Protein, taste, and transparency. Let's start with protein. For too long, plant-based meats were sold on emotion: save the planet, spare the animals, disrupt big beef. But as consumers became more nutrition-savvy and started taking GLP-1 drugs or hitting the gym, protein content became king. Today's buyers want more than ideology, they want macros. That means companies are reformulating to cram in more high-quality plant protein, often from soy, pea, or even mung beans, while trimming the filler and fluff. 15 g of plant protein is now as crucial to packaging as the logo itself. But high protein isn't enough if it tastes like damp cardboard. The early wave of meat alternatives struggled with flavor, texture, and post-cook smell. Ask anyone who's accidentally microwaved a plant-based sausage in an office. So brands are now going back to the kitchen, reworking recipes for better fat distribution, bite, and even cookability. Mushrooms, fava beans, fermented ingredients, and new oil blends are leading the charge, offering cleaner flavor, better mouthfeel, and fewer gastrointestinal surprises. Taste aside, transparency may be the biggest change of all. Consumers who once blindly trusted the plant-based halo now want to know exactly what they're eating. Is it organic?
Non GMO?
Fermented or fractionated? Are there 20 unpronounceable ingredients or just 5? That pressure has forced companies to strip down their recipes and rethink their entire messaging playbook. No more lab-grown miracle vibes. Today's winning pitch is simple, wholesome, and real food adjacent. Newer brands are leaning hard into this transparency-first model. Instead of trying to perfectly imitate meat, some are proudly embracing a plant-forward identity. Less fake chicken breast, more flavorful veggie patty that happens to have 20 grams of protein and makes you feel good about your lunch. That shift away from mimicry and toward functionality could mark a turning point, not just for consumer trust, but for long-term sustainability in the category. Meanwhile, big players are playing defense and offense. Beyond Meat has reformulated its core burger to be lower in saturated fat and cleaner on the label. Impossible Foods is exploring new product lines, sausages, nuggets, and even ready-to-eat bowls, with an eye toward flexibility, not just replication. Other companies, like Morningstar Farms and Guardian, are repositioning legacy items as modern protein solutions, not just meat substitutes. And then there are the biotech-backed disruptors like meaty, mushroom root-based meats, and juicy marbles, plant-based steaks with marbling tech, carving out entirely new lanes. Retailers and restaurants are also adjusting. Gone are the days when you could slap a plant-based sticker on anything and expect sales. Now it's all about culinary appeal. Fast casual chains like Mendocino Farms, Sweetgreen, and Shake Shack are experimenting with chef-driven plant proteins that integrate seamlessly into the menu, not stand out like a nutritional oddity. Grocery stores are reallocating shelf space from meat alternatives to high-protein plant foods, blending items like tofu, lentil pasta, and veggie-forward meals with the next-gen meats. But the reset isn't just about marketing, it's a recalibration of expectations. For too long, plant-based meats were asked to do everything: taste like beef, save the world, reduce cholesterol, feed the planet, and still cost less than a drive-through burger. That's an impossible burger of expectations, and the industry is finally saying, let's simplify. Let's build trust first. Let's win on flavor, protein, and clean labels, and leave the moral sermons at the door. Because in 2025, consumers aren't asking for miracles. They're asking for better basics, snackable, cookable, craveable products that deliver on both taste and nutrition without needing a TED Talk to explain what they are. If plant-based meat can deliver on that promise, the second act of this food revolution might be even stronger and more grounded than the first.